Hey guys, I'm Dasha. Today we'll learn how to multiply fractions. We'll cover multiplying regular fractions by whole numbers. We'll work with decimals, negatives, and positives. We'll apply several rules. Let's start with the simplest example, a whole number times a fraction. What's a whole number? How do we write it as a fraction? It's negative 5 over 1. We'll multiply by 3/7. That's how we write a whole number as a fraction. Remember, negative times positive equals negative. Now, what do we multiply? We've converted everything to regular fractions. We multiply numerators and denominators separately. 5 times 3, 5 times 3, and here 1 times 7. That's it. Minus 5 times 3, how much is that? 15. And 7 in the denominator, yes, because 1 times 7 is 7. Let's get the whole number, shall we? We've got two whole numbers, forgot minus 2 and 1/7. So the answer is minus 2 and 1/7. Next example, minus 15 times minus 2/25. We'll treat it like a regular fraction. Let's tackle the minuses first. Minus times minus equals what? Plus. We'll drop that right away and write it down. So we're left with 15 times 2/25. Much easier without minuses, right? Minus times minus always gives plus. 15 times 2 and 1 times 25. Let's simplify here, divide by 5. This will be 5, this will be 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 1 times 5 is 5, 6/5. We have a positive number. Let's extract the whole part, 1 and 1/5. Look, the next example is similar. Here we also have a whole number, a regular fraction, and two minus signs. Minus times minus is plus, so let's eliminate that right away. 4/21 multiplied by 7/1. Good. If we write it out, 4 times 7 as one fraction, but we calculate it, we can do this. 3, 1, yes. Four here, 3 there. So 4 times 1 is 4, 3 times 1 is 3. Let's also extract the whole part, 1 and 1/3. Excellent. Let's solve the next example. I'm not sure why I used brackets here, but basically look, 4/15 times 3. Just like that, yes. Let's simplify it right away. 15 times 3/1. So let's draw a long fraction line. 4 times 3 over 15 times 1, yes. So numerator over numerator, denominator over denominator. We divide by 3. Here's 1. And how many here? 5. It comes out to 4/5. Yes. 4 over 1 is 4. 5 over 1 is 5. 4/5. That's the answer. Next example. Back to our minus. Minus times minus equals plus. You remember that, right? Let's do it this way. For 7/16, we drop the minuses and multiply by 8. Okay, now under the fraction line, 7 times 8, 16 times 1. 1, yes, divide by 8. Here's 2. 7/2. Wow, our numerator is much bigger than the denominator. How many 2's in 7? There'll be 3 whole 2's. And a half left over, yes. 3 and 1/2. Next example. Now we're multiplying plus by minus, which always gives us a minus. Let's not write the minus yet. We need to convert to a proper fraction first. So 2 Multiply ninths by -5. All right. Now we can move the minus outside the fraction as we have a common denominator. Multiply 2 by 5 and 9 by 1. Good. So we get -10, 2 times 5 is 10, and 9 times 1 is 9. Let's separate the whole -1 and 1/9. Let's set up examples. As I'll need space for decimal fractions, we'll multiply in columns. Let's solve this example first. We have a negative factor, so let's write the answer as negative right away. We'll multiply just the positive numbers in columns, okay? Multiply 3.85 by 5.3. How do we multiply in columns? We're dealing with decimals. We'll count the decimal places, then multiply as if they were whole numbers, like 385 times 53. So nothing changes. First we multiply this by 5, 8, then 3, right? Then 5, 5, 5, 8, 5, 3. It's that simple. So let's see, 3 times 5 is how much? 15, right? And 1 carried over. 3 times 8 is how much? 24. But with 1 carried over, it's 25, right? We have 2 carried over. And 3 times 3 is how much? 9 plus 2 carried over is 11. Now 5 times 5 is 25, right? 5 carry 2. 5 times 8 is 40. But with 2 carried over, it's 42, right? 2 carry 4. 5 times 3 is 15. But in the end, we'll have 19, right? 15 plus 4 equals 19. Now we add them up in a column. 5, 0 here, carry 1, 1 plus 2 is 3, carry 1, 4, 1 plus 9 is 0. Carry 1, and here it's 2 plus 1 carried over. Now we need to count the commas. Here we get 1, 2, 3 signs and a comma. 1, 2, 3. 20.405. But it's negative, so minus 20.405. I should mention, you might have seen online or been taught to multiply 3.85 by 5.3 and add a 0 here. That's okay too. So we can do that. First, we multiply by 0, 0, 0, right? Everything shifts a bit. There'd be a 0 in the answer. We'd count the signs 1, 2, 3, 4 and count from here 1, 2, 3, 4. This works too. Next example, we have minus times minus giving plus, so we'll multiply as if they're positive numbers. Also in column 24 and 1, 6. Multiply 6 by 4 is 24, write 4. Then 2 in mind, right? 6 times 2 is 12 plus 2 is how much? 14. Let's write 14 right away as it'll be 0 here, actually 0, right? 144. Good. Now 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 2 is 2. 0. 1 times 0 is 0. 4830. How many digits? 1, 2, 3. How many digits after the decimal? 1, 2, 3. 0.384. 0.384. Make sure it's positive. Yes, this is a positive number. Now multiply 1/2 by 100th. I wonder how you'll do it. You can convert one to the other or change 001 to a regular fraction. Let's convert this to decimal. I'll show you a trick. So, how much is 1/2? 1/2, say, if you don't know, let's say I'm in an exam and I've forgotten. In decimal fractions, I multiply to get 10. So then 1 second, I need to multiply everything by 5. Because 5 times 2 equals 10. And now we have a decimal, right? 5/10, that's 0.5. 0.5, that's it. Say you get confused and forget. Multiply by 0.1. Let's do this. I'll write it in red. To multiply something by 1, what do we get? We get the same number, right? But multiplying by 10, 100, 1000, the decimal point moves as the number grows. So if we multiply 53 by 10, we get 530. By 1000, we get 5300, and so on. If by 100, it'll be 5300. There, the same applies in reverse. So if it's 0.1001 comma, we just move the decimal point. Like if we have a 1 here, yeah, we move the decimal point. It was here, like 1.0 comma, we imagine moving it left, then left again. There. And the same thing happens here. To get just 1, how many times do we move the decimal point? Once and twice. Then we'll have the decimal point right after the 1. So that's correct. Twice, right? Once and twice. So we need to reduce this number. Let's say 0.5. We move the decimal point once and then twice more. So we have 0 here and 0 here. The final answer is 0.005 comma, right? 5 thousandths. This is a very useful trick. It'll come in handy during tests. The last exercise seems hard, but it's actually very simple. We just need to simplify the first fraction to a regular one. So 7 times 1 is what? 7 plus 2, 9/7. We multiply by 14 as that's our whole number, right? So 9 times 14, 7 times 1. Let's simplify. 1 here, 2 there. 9 times 2. What's that? 18. Just 18. If you got all these, give us a thumbs up. We've got a video in our 6th grade math playlist. It's about multiplying and dividing fractions. It'll help with upcoming tests. Good luck, everyone. Bye now.